Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod. This is the NRLW Season 2025 Cronulla Sharks podcast, proudly brought to you by SharkCast and the mighty Cronulla Sutherland Sharks in affiliation with them. We're going into week 5 of the season, believe it or not. Coming off a win against the West Tigers, we are 2-2. Pretty good win against them with some injury news and a bit of an injury crisis happening down at the club both last week and this week, which we'll get more into as we get into the team shortly. But a good win against West Tigers. They are winless, but they showed a lot of heart and put up a good fight against the Cronulla Sharks. And I was pretty impressed with both teams last week. It was a pretty good game, and the Sharks just got away with it, thankfully. That's all they had to do was win, and they won, and they move on to Magic Round in Newcastle this weekend. Very exciting that the NRL has given the NRLW their own weekend up in Newcastle. So if you can get up there to support the Sharks, please do, and you'll see a whole bunch of other good football up there. Halfway through the season, we are in 5th place, almost halfway through the season. And as it's been pointed out, it's been a very injury-ravaged season so far. Hopefully it can only get better, but we do have a bit of breaking news there as far as team news for this week, which we'll get into. Stick around, you'll hear from winger Cassie Staples. Great to catch up with her and get her story so far, and what's been a very long and illustrious career in sport. And hopefully she has a big game this weekend against the Broncos. We beat the Broncos last year in the semi-final 14-0. They'll be looking to get revenge on that for sure, but the Sharks have a lot to play for. Let's get into the team news now. Emma Veron is out. She has a foot injury. She's a late scratching, so she is out for this week. Tyler King will replace her after she made her first Sharks appearance off the bench last week. Now, Brooke Anderson was concussed last week in the first tackle, I believe. Tale Holmes moves to lock. Anne-Marie Kiraratu goes to the second row after her NRL debut last week from the bench. Stephanie Faulkner is also out due to concussion protocols, but Jacinta Carter comes back into prop. This also means there is another debutante happening. I think it's our 5th one this year. Leki Leilua will be playing, which is great. You know, someone misses out, she gets to go in. So there's a positive from a negative. She came from Melbourne to try and make her claim at the Sharks, and so far she is doing so well through the Pathways system and gets her chance this weekend to show everyone on the big stage. So the team is Tyler King at fullback, Cassie Staples and Georgia Ravix on the wing, Tiana Penatani-Gray and Anessa Biddle on the centres. Halves are Georgia Hanaway and Shante Kiraratu. Starting props will be Ellie Johnston and Jacinta Carter. Quincy Dodd is the hooker. Back row of Manolita Takapatolo, Anne-Marie Kiraratu and Tale Holmes. The bench is Grace Lee Weeks, Nakia Davis-Welsh, Leki Leilua on debut, and Tamea Kelly-Signs. Extended bench of Dominique Dutoit and Nanise Vakakavu. So quite a bit of change there for the mighty Sharks. For Brisbane, it's the usual stacked team that they have year upon year. This year with the addition of Tamika Upton at fullback, who's just incredible. They've got great centres in Mele Hufunga and Julia Robinson. Ali Brigginshaw is the halfback. One of my favourite players, Jada Ferguson at hooker. Brianna Clark at prop. On the bench, Destiny Brill, Chelsea Lenadusi. It's a pretty stacked team. So Sharks definitely looking to keep on improving 2-2 and want to keep climbing up that ladder after an indifferent start to the season, it has to be said. You can watch it on Foxtel, on KO, on 9 and 9 Now from 4:15 p.m. Or of course, if you can get to Newcastle, we encourage you to do so. Alright, coming up, we have a great interview with Cassie Staples. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did doing the interview. This is SharkCast Pod NRLW Season 2025. If you can give us a like, subscribe, share, etc. wherever you're watching or listening to this, we would really appreciate it. And of course, if you don't know, we do lots of content on SharkCast, both NRL and NRLW throughout the week. So Love to have you a part of our world. Up Cronulla, here comes Cassie.
Plenty of room to exploit for Taylor, and now Staples on the outside of Hutt. What about the turn of speed? Oh, Cassie Staples tries in back-to-back games for Cronulla.
Cassie Staples, welcome to SharkCast Pod. Thanks so much for your time. Great to meet you. We want to know a little bit about you growing up. Where did you grow up? What part of the world did you grow up in?
I'm originally from the South Coast, so Batemans Bay, down there about 4 hours south of Sydney is where I grew up. I was born in Sydney but moved down the coast when I was about 4 years old, I think. Spent all my younger years, teenage years down there, and then made the big move to Sydney when I was about 18, 19 years old. Okay,
tell us a bit about your sporting career, and even as a kid, what was the first sport you played?
The first sport I played or did was I swam. I was a swimmer for a very long time. I enjoyed that. Did enjoy the early mornings and the cold water at 4 a.m, but definitely enjoyed competition. I was always really competitive from a young age. So and just enjoyed meeting people and travelling and competing and travelling with my family and friends, and I loved it.
Now, the Sharks bio tells us that you were I believe the quote is star netball player. Tell us about your netball life.
I fell in love with netball probably pretty late. I think after swimming around 14, I started playing netball. Did it down the South Coast, and then grew a real love for it and wanted to compete in Sydney. Eventually got contracted or signed to a Sutherland South Sydney team, I think when I was about maybe 19, 20 years old. And competed up here and absolutely loved it. So just fell in love with netball pretty young. Yeah.
So then you went to rugby. How did you make that move? Why did you make that move?
At the time I was actually training at a gym called Live Athletic down here with Justin Lang in Cronulla. I was training for netball at the time, but we had a lot of rugby athletes come in, and during the time when I was training there, it was about 2016 and the Olympics had been around. It was an Olympic year for rugby sevens, for the first ever rugby sevens.
Right.
And the women were exploding, I think, at the time, and they were obviously a very good team, the women's rugby sevens team. And due to the athletes being around myself at the gym, I again just got enticed by that competitive nature. They were always around passing with each other at the gym and doing tackle drills, and I kind of just thought I could give that a crack. And so I pretty much forced him to help me at the time. Yeah.
And you went on to be at the Commonwealth Games. So you've had a pretty good rugby career already, young in life. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, the Commonwealth Games was amazing. I think upon reflection, competing on home soil in front of your family and friends is something I'll probably never forget. I was up in the Gold Coast there and enjoyed every single moment, and it was incredible to be part of. So something I'll never forget, and loved it. Yeah.
Now, how did you make the move to league?
Didn't get recontracted back in 2022 for rugby sevens. I had a good career there. I was there for about 5 years, and I kind of knew that my time was coming to an end, which most people do in sports. And then I was approached to come over and try league at the end of my contract with rugby sevens, and at the start kind of thought, I was a bit unsure at the time. Ruan Sims was also training at the gym I was training at with Justin Lang at Live Athletic, and she'd asked me to come across a couple of years prior, and I turned it down, and she was always asking me to come over. And then 2022 the opportunity arose to come down to Harvey Norman with Tony's team at the time. Who is now our coach, and I decided to go, and again, fell in love with it pretty quick.
Had you grown up watching rugby league?
Definitely here and there. My family, especially my dad, watches a lot of rugby league, watches a lot of rugby uni. He's a massive Wallabies fan, and by the school I was, and the nature of this being around sport, people are always interested in NRL rugby league. It's probably one of our biggest games in Australia, so definitely was across it, but didn't find my love for it until later on in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it hard to make that transition as a sport, or as a player, are they similar sports to play?
In terms of skill, I think it's similar. Obviously, you both got footies, and it's a team sport, and there's a lot of skill around the ruck and passing, but still very different. Rugby league's a very strategic game. I think it's about moving numbers, and it's obviously, I think it's supported and watched a lot in Australia. NRL is massive, and absolutely love being a part of it,
So you were at the Dastardly Dragons for a little while. How was that experience?
St George Dragons?
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm allowed to say that because we're Sharks and they're Dragons.
It was awesome. I had a couple of months there. It was my first year in NRLW. I think at the time I didn't really expect too much. I was very much learning the game, and really happy just to come across and engage an opportunity there. So it was a really good opportunity. I'm from the South Coast originally, so going down to Wollongong wasn't a problem. I just really enjoyed it, and obviously it helped streamline me into the next few years of my rugby league career, which which really took off with the Sharks.
And so Tony brought you over in our first year?
Yeah, Tony brought me over in our first year. I did do a Harvey Norman season that year as well. I think the timings were off due to COVID in the previous year, but I played a couple of games of Harvey Norman with Tony and all the girls that are in our current squad, and then our inaugural season kicked off in 2023 for Sharks.
Now, what's it like for you representing this great club? You've got a lot of younger female audience as well as people of all demographics, but what's it like for you as a role model, I guess?
It's an incredible opportunity to be part of this club, and I think I don't take that that role lightly. I think I'm incredibly grateful and honoured to be able to I think inspire our local community and girls all over the Southern Shire and broader community as well. I love what I do, and I love them able to have that platform for especially the young girls coming through, but especially the young boys too. I think it really hits home, especially when we have home games here and we've got, little girls staying up till 8 o'clock at night with their posters and their ribbons and their texters, and they're absolutely thrilled to watch us and be part of, that generation coming through. And it's important, that they're our future of the game. So I absolutely love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You've had a pretty good couple of years at the Sharks. We haven't sort of hit the peak yet. I feel like this year we're going to keep rising. Last year went pretty close.
Yeah.
How was the ride for you last year? Roller coaster of a season.
Roller coaster of a season, yeah. But our second season was a really special one. I think we had a lot of learnings after our first season, our inaugural season in 2023. Last year we definitely went to another level and found another gear. But I think I'm safe to say, and I think Tony would agree, we still haven't found our best footy yet. Yeah. We're an incredible club. We've got an incredible bunch of players here, but finding that cherry on top yet, we still haven't finessed or finalised in our game yet, and that's something really exciting to, I guess, work towards. It's something that we haven't finished yet. So I think in due time you'll see our best footy, and we're really excited to be a part of that.
So this year we've had a lot of injuries already, but that means a lot of debuts as well. We've got another one this weekend, which is awesome. What's it like for you seeing the younger players come into debut?
Yeah, it's really special. I think over the last few years we've had a lot of these girls come through our system. And they've been a part of the squad from day one. So it's cool and really, really special for them to be able to see the transition and the progress of their hard work, and also that there are pathways to come through as a player and as an athlete here at Cronulla Sharks. So really special to watch that from afar, and I know what it feels like. And the culture amongst the girls is absolutely vibing and booming at the moment. So really excited for those girls.
Do you have a favourite position? Is it fullback? Is it wing?
You know what? I'm not sure. I'm not really, I think. For me, I think I'm happy to go where the team needs me. At any point in time, happy to slot in. I can play all three at the back there, and I'm enjoying wing at the moment. I really enjoyed fullback last season, but again, just happy to be wherever the team needs me.
All right. Now, got the Broncos Saturday. Already a great rivalry there in our short history. What are you expecting for the Broncos?
Yeah, a really tough game on Saturday. Tomorrow I'm expecting a really hard match for us. I know that, last time we came across them was in the semi last year when we knocked them out, and I think they'll come back with a bit of fire in their belly for this game, but in saying that, so do we. We're a club full of fire, and we know what our game plan is tomorrow, so I expect nothing but, a really tough match and something exciting to watch.
All right, one last question before we let you go to do your training before the big game. We ask this of everybody who comes on the show, whether it's player, staff, admin, music. Tell us about what Cassie likes to listen to.
I like everything, a lot of everything, to be honest. I got all types of mixes, but at the moment I'm really vibing Miguel. He's a bit of an R&B artist. I think he's hitting the charts pretty well at the moment. I love listening to him. And also really vibing Olivia Dean.
Okay.
She's I think a pop artist coming through as well. Bit alternate, but really easy to listen to, and they're in my ears on game day.
So that's your game day vibe?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. Bit chill, I do like to pump it up, but I think for me, I'm someone that doesn't need caffeine. I've got a lot of energy all the time, so I need something a bit more chilled and relaxed leading up to game time. So Miguel and Olivia Dean.
All right, Cassie, thank you for your time.
Thanks so much.
SharkCast Pod, we will talk to you next week, NRLW. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.